Here's another extraordinary life tip. Have you ever made excuses? I think we all have. I think all of us have had a good opportunity or a good reason to delay or to omit ourselves from taking responsibility for something that should have happened but didn't happen. But when is it time to stop giving excuses? Is there such a time to just stop? I think that there's a perfect time to do it. And today is the best day. Any day that ends in a letter Y would be a great day to stop giving excuses. And here's what I mean by that is that, an excuse, as my mentor Dan Bell likes to say, is a thin shell of truth stuffed with a lie. I think that you can kind of visualize that, if you would, is that, there is some sort of truth with rationalizing or justifying why we didn't do what we were supposed to do or why we did what we did. But in reality, it's oftentimes filled with a lie. It's filled with something that we could have made a different decision, but we didn't. And so the idea of not making any more excuses is taking full responsibility for your actions. And there's four questions that I have learned that have been very helpful for me, and I think that they'll help you to create a breakthrough in your life or in any aspect that maybe you're seeing excuses continue to show up. And the four questions are: what happened? What did I want to have happen? What's missing? And what's next? Rather than giving people excuses or giving yourself an excuse, go through those four questions and identify: here's what happened, here's what I wanted to have happen, and here's what I believe is missing, and here's what's next on my list of things to do that is going to be a priority so that it doesn't continue to happen the same way again and again and again. Now, obviously, if you don't take action on what's next, you're not going to improve the situation and you're going to continue to have to answer those four questions, which most likely you're going to give an excuse. But if you keep going through the answering of those four questions, you're going to clarify what's taking place. And, when I played football, as you can see, I played football and it was really important to me. And one of the things that we did in football is that we watched a lot of game film. We replayed past events and we learned from them. And oftentimes we would say, here's what happened, right? It's right there in front of our eyes. And if we didn't do what we were supposed to do, the coach would say, here's what I wanted you to do. Why did you choose to do what you did? And here's what's missing. Could be a skill set. It could be a technique. It could be perception. Could be the way that you're currently thinking about something. And then it's the action, doing it the way that your coach or doing it the way it should be done, so that you can actually learn how to do it right versus doing it wrong or not doing it at all. I remember a distinct period of time where, this is 30 years ago, I was watching film with a bunch of other players, and Coach Jim Burrow was our special teams coach, and I was a long snapper. You can see right there in that picture right there, I'm in the middle snapping that ball. It's a beautiful picture of an overhead shot of me long snapping for a field goal. But I ended up running down on kickoff and was on special teams and had Coach Jim Burrow, whose son Joe Burrow is the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals and played at LSU and Ohio State and a whole bunch of other places. But Jim Burrow was a special teams coordinator, and I didn't do my job. And I gave him an excuse. I gave him a really good reason. It was a thin layer of truth, or thin shell of truth stuffed with a lie. I gave him a thin shell of truth, which is what I thought was the right thing to do, but it was stuffed with a lie. And the lie was, I thought that this was actually a better strategy than the strategy that he had given me. And he came back to me and said, here's what I want you to do the next time that happens. And if you don't do that, you won't play. It was very clear. Competitive sports is very cut and dried. There isn't a lot of opportunities for you to give excuses and continue to play. But in our lives, we're given an opportunity to give lots of excuses, whether it's to our family, to our friends. But we all know that those people distance themselves as we continue to give excuses. Our employees, our team, our mentors, our coaches in our lives will begin to distance themselves from us if we continue to give excuses. And what happened is that I became a better player because I stopped giving excuses and I learned from my coach, breaking down what happened, what he wanted to have happen, what he felt was missing, and then he focused on helping me to do what's next. And he also commended me on my achievements. So I hope that this is helpful for you. I hope that this is helping you to break through from excuses, because if you accept full responsibility for what it is that you are embarking to do, whatever that goal may be, you're going to have more success in a shorter period of time if you stop the excuses and start answering those 4 questions and sharing those answers with the people that you're being accountable to. Have a great day.